Available out of the box with the other B2B partners in this area. So, having said this, I'll talk a little bit about the TM solution. So, this is really a solution. This is a really new solution which went into ramp up in 2011 and is in global availability right now. So, this is really a platform. I would say an enterprise-wide strategic platform which needs to meet all the transportation needs. So it can handle multiple kinds of transportation scenarios. For example, you can have inbound transportation, and you can have domestic inbound transportation as well as international inbound transportation. You can have outbound transportation as well, which can again be domestic as well as international. You can have other transportation scenarios like outsourced transportation, where you sort of outsource your transportation to other LSPs, and the entire process of the entire variation of different transportation scenarios and the complete sort of communication that you need to have with the different stakeholders in the transportation process can be managed using this using the TM platform. And some of the features of this platform are that it's very scalable, and it can support simple processes as well as can scale up to handle more complex processes in the transportation management area. It's very extensible as well. So I'll explain that again. And the user interface is again extremely flexible and customizable, so it can be sort of configured to suit the needs of individual users. And one of the other features is that it's the business process is also highly configurable. So what it means is so every customer is going to have unique business processes. I mean, and the sequence of processes that each customer does will not be the same. So I mean, the processes and the sequence can be configured and to suit the business process of the customer very easily. And it's also very extensible. What it means is if there is a specific requirement of a particular customer, for example, so let's say there's a particular UI, and let's say a customer has a unique business process, and you need to extend that UI with some additional fields and stuff like that, which is not available in the standard. So that can very easily be added. So the underlying business, business objects or the UI technology is such that additional fields or additional business objects can really be added very easily to the solution and can be made to suit the needs of the customer. So so that's a little bit about the architecture of the TM solution. And now if I try to look at the functionality of the TM solution, so these are really the four big building blocks of the TM solution. So you have the order management piece. So this is very, there is a very strong integration with ERP solutions by which any sales orders, purchase orders, transfer orders, or anything that really requires a movement, anything which sort of triggers off a transportation requirement can easily come and sit into TM as a request and can be used for the subsequent processes. So not only the integration with TM, with ERP, but also if additional transportation requirements can be sort of added onto the solution very easily. And so the order planning can be done based on orders as well as deliveries as required by the business process. The next building block is really the transportation planning. So this supports the manual as well as automated planning. So manual planning can be done by using drag and drop features, or if required, the users can also use automated planning by using the optimizer. That's part of the TM solution itself. And so it can do efficient load buildings to maximize to achieve maximum capacity utilization of the resources which are to be used for transportation. And it can find out the optimum routes and schedules by taking into account vehicle capacity and other sort of schedule constraints. And it can also it can handle a whole variety of constraints and incompatibilities which might be there in during the transportation process. And one of the other key features is it can also support the most optimum career selection, and this can be based on multiple constraints. Like for example, it can be based on cost, so it can select the lowest cost career. It can also sort of take into account additional sort of business agreements or fixed business agreements that you might have with careers in a particular location or a particular geography. That's something which can be achieved, and again the order management planning process can be sort of configured to make it completely either completely manually done by the users, it can be completely automated, or it can be in between. So some of the steps can be manual as required to support the business process, and the rest of it completely automated. There is the system can also sort of support touchless, what we call as a touchless planning or a one-step planning, where the orders come into the system. You have all the sort of rules of order splitting and consolidation built in. The planning rules and everything is built in, so the user doesn't really need to do anything on the system. The orders come in, and the system automatically plans the complete transportation and gives the optimum loads, routes, and schedules as an output. So the users know which items to put on which trucks and and which routes to actually send them on through which carriers. So I mean, if sort of required, I mean, a completely automated planning can also be supported as required. Now, once the career selection is done, in the transportation execution part really, so there is a deep integration with the SAP event management solution by which complete execution visibility and monitoring can be achieved. And you can define predefined events or sort of stages that a particular transportation order is going to go through, and they can be monitored in using the event management solution, or if there are sort of deviations from the expected process, or there are unexpected events like delays, damages, and stuff like that, that can be reported, and that can be sort of monitored and acted upon using alert notifications and sort of rule-based follow-up. So that's something which is supported using the event management framework. Again, it's also possible to sort of print out necessary documentation that's essentially required during the transportation management process, and to be able to send them by emails or through other methods, or by B2B communication, or by other methods through the stakeholders in the process. So, and also there is an inbuilt integration with the GTS solution by which, if there is any international transportation need which is required, so the export declaration can be triggered off automatically through the GTS system, and all the necessary documentation for export declaration can be obtained from the TM system itself. So that's the transportation execution part. Now coming to the financial settlement part of it. So you can model all the freight agreements that you have with your carriers or your customers in the solution, and the system supports doing all kinds of complex freight calculations, and once the calculations are done in the TM system, they can be aggregated and they can be sent over to the ERP system for customer billing or for invoice verification with the suppliers. So the integration to the ERP system is sort of again a seamless integration by which the cost can be sent over to the ERP system. Now this is supported with best-in-class analytics which is available, and there is embedded analytics which is available in the solution at the point of use. So let's say when a customer is making a decision related to selecting a career, the customer can actually see some analytics based on the performance of the career, and there is also the provision of sort of doing sending the information from the TM system over to the BI system, from where additional analytics or reports can be generated as well. Okay, so what I'll do right now is I'll try to show you a demo of the transportation management solution, which will give you a idea about how the solution really looks and feels. So what I'm showing you is basically a screen of the transportation management solution, and this is a screen which is used by the planner, and this is a one screen which gives the planner all the functionalities that the planner needs to do on the transportation management system. So the planner can see all the transportation requirements on the top left side of the screen, which is called as a freight units. He can see all the resources, or the trucks and trailers, and all the resources available for transportation on the lower part of the screen under vehicles. And he can actually start planning them. Before planning, if he wants to actually trace back any of these requirements to their origin, he can do that. So if I click on the screen, click on a particular order, I can see the particular standard purchase order from which this transportation requirement originated. So once the planner has the requirements and the vehicles available, the planner can actually kick off transportation optimization using the optimizer. So once the planning is initiated, the system automatically generates the freight orders or the transportation orders which need to be executed, while keeping in mind all the different kinds of constraints which are sort of built in into which have been fed into the solution. The user can see details of the transportation order. For example, if it's a multi-stage order, the user can actually see all the stages. For example, this is a 3-stage order which goes through 3 legs. It's a multi-drop order, so the user can see all the stages involved in this. The user can also see details of this particular order on a map. So how many, on a geographical map in terms of how many stages this is going to go through and where those stages exactly are. The planner can then do a career selection. So this will tell this will automatically sort of decide who the best career is based on costs, which are sort of already defined in the system, and the system suggests the best career available. The planner accepts the results. And while doing so, the planner can also take help of embedded analytics on career performance, which is available in the solution. So the planner can sort of decide to choose maybe a second career if the performance of the first career is not always good enough. So once this has been done, the career selection has been done. It can be published and saved, and there can be a communication sent out to the careers that a particular order has been assigned to the career. This can be done in multiple ways. It can be through a mobile device, or it can be through an email like we are seeing right now. And the career can actually see details of the RFQ that has been sent out on a web UI as well. The career can choose to accept or reject. In this case, I'm just rejecting it, giving a reason, and if it's rejected, it can automatically sort of go to the next career who's in the selection criteria. It's also possible to see career performance or monitor career performance through a career portal. So analytics on careers can be available readily. So once you see the responses so this is one screen where the planner can actually see the responses from the different careers to whom this order has been sent out. So once you see a career who actually accepts it, you can award the quotation to that career, and you can print out the necessary documentation that's required to execute this particular order, and hand it over to the career for execution. And the execution of the order can be monitored through predefined events, and the user can get notifications on the different events that are being executed on the particular order. So for example, in this case, a proof of delivery, once it's sent out, it sends a notification to the planner that the order has been completely executed and a proof of delivery has been received. So the planner can go to the alert monitor and actually take a look at the proof of delivery, which is sent out as an image, maybe through a mobile device. And as you can see on the screen, the status or the different events related to this particular order can all be monitored with the expected date times and the actual date times. So that's so the complete visibility or tracking of the particular order can be achieved. So once an order has been completely achieved, it's also possible to do the charge calculation related to that particular order. So as I was mentioning, the agreements and the different rates and the different charges with this particular career is already sort of built into the solution, and based on that, charge calculation can be triggered, which will sort of calculate the different charge elements related to this particular order. And all the different charges related to an order can be collected and in a settlement document, and this can be done either for a particular order